Hi there, my name is Saiz. I'm an associate professor at the Department of Urban Studies and also at the Center for Real Estate. And what I do is mostly study the economy from the perspective of housing. So my main field of interest is housing economics. I try to understand how markets for housing work, how real estate values are determined in an economy, and also I look at international determinants of capital inflows and outflows in the real estate sector, and immigration and labor movement across countries. I am originally from Spain. This is a very international program, and it's becoming more international given the number of students that we have from abroad and the faculty that we have from abroad. The other advantage is that you as a student here, you're actually going to interact with many other students from very different backgrounds. You're going to talk to the urban planners. You're going to have to understand their motivations and understand why they like the policies as they like them, which kind of zoning policies, transit policies, so on and so forth. So I teach two classes here, mostly microeconomics, and many students in the MSRED program come here with some economics background. Some of them might want to refresh some of the ideas in the economics class. So I teach a microeconomics class for both planners, architects, and other students who are interested in learning more about economics. And what we do is we basically try to develop an understanding of markets, mostly focusing on housing markets, the demand side of the markets, the production side of the markets, how much it costs you to produce a housing unit, what the land's gonna cost, so on and so forth. And we also try to understand a little bit public policy and zoning, taxation, local tax, land taxes, so on and so forth, as they apply to the economic realities in which you're gonna be immersed as a real estate developer or someone working in the real estate industry. So how do we develop this international real estate class? You may ask yourselves, well, it's a big world, there's 170 countries, so which countries are you actually devoting time to? And the reality is we actually talk about 70 countries. The way we manage to do this is by really thinking, laying the ground very clearly so that we think conceptually about the different aspects of the market. We start with finance and how housing values and real estate values come to fruition in an environment with financing costs, construction costs, and demand from the public, and how these interact with the markets for land and with the political structures of the specific country in terms of property rights, in terms of mortgage markets and mortgage policies, banking policies, so on and so forth. And also, a lot of the more academic parts of the curriculum are going to be very much technology and data driven. So I will probably tell you about my research on Google Maps, where I'm actually downloading all the information that you can find in Google Maps as to how many photos are posted. People do post photos about buildings they like, and what I'm doing with that information is actually matching. I'm downloading that information, I'm geocoding the photos so I know exactly the latitude and the longitude in which each photo is actually taken. So now what I can do is actually look at the importance of aesthetic characteristics of a building to actually determine the value of a building in the market. We're not quite in a business school. That's, I think, to some degree an advantage, because you're not going to be constrained by the classic sort of patterns of an MBA program. So you're going to pick and choose the classes that you're interested in. You're going to be immersed into real estate as soon as you come, and we're tailoring this program so that you make the most out of it, as opposed to an MBA where, again, many of these real estate programs are very strong, but sometimes they perhaps might not have the focus that you're going to find here at MIT, where we're solely devoted in body and soul to the idea of providing the best real estate education that you can get. What I think is the most beautiful or attractive parts of this program is the combination between practicality and theory and conceptual understanding. So we're forming what we want to be Renaissance men and women who are going to understand the markets, who are going to love the markets from all dimensions. So you're going to see everything from facilities, you're going to understand how buildings work, what you do with the air conditioning, how much it costs you to build a specific addition or renovation or alteration on a building. But you're also going to learn about macroeconomics and how interest rates do affect the markets. So you're going to get a very well-rounded perspective that's going to make you an incredibly well-rounded individual, well-rounded professional, and a well-rounded entrepreneur. So that idea of the Renaissance man and Renaissance woman applied to studies in real estate crystallizes at the very end with a thesis. We think of the thesis as the perfect avenue for you to sort of go out there and show the world and yourself what you're interested in from all the perspectives, from the more intellectual perspectives to the more practical and applied perspectives. You can make the thesis work for you to show everyone what you know and how well-rounded of a professional, of an entrepreneur, of an individual you're actually.